Welcome back to the Cosmic Kickback. Sounds like we're on iCarly.
Nice. It does, yeah. Nice intro there from both of us this time.
Yes.
Nick and Josh. As you guys know, we're doing the DC movies. We're finishing it up right before DC Fandom. We're recording this, what time, Nick?
10:51
p.m. our time. So we just finished Shazam literally like 20-30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, got Nick take some notes. Nick took some notes for once. I did not.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the dome. So right before the eve of the DC Fandom event, Fandom Eve, we are almost all DC'd out. We've been on this train for a while. The hype has been going. Started high, have had some lows. We're on the way down, but this was Nick's first time watching Shazam. Shazam. So,
hey, careful.
Yeah,
you won't turn into.
So, we get to see, I guess, Nick's first opinion on the movie since he's never seen it and I have seen it. So we'll get two different viewpoints on that, and let's just hop right into it.
I know the ratings are already going to be very different because you saw it for the second time, and this is like my first time. I'm pretty much straight out the theater.
Yeah.
Just like
yeah.
hype.
Did you like it?
I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
There was some stuff where I was like, it's kind of like pretty much like Aquaman. Like,
yeah, that's what when we watched Aquaman, I was like, this is kind of like
spoiler alert
in terms of like, I guess, tone.
Yeah. So let's talk about you want to go let's talk about the things we liked, I guess.
All right.
First off, I like it's a pretty unique story.
Spoilers throughout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil the whole thing.
You just been watching all these reviews thinking like no spoilers.
Quick summary: it's a kid named Billy Batson.
Yeah.
He receives the wizard Shazam.
He grabs his staff.
He gets his staff. He says his name. He gets his powers. He has fun with his powers, and he does the hero shit. And we'll get into the end. Yeah. There's your summary. And what did you like about this movie, Nick?
I don't think I even knew like who Shazam was. So like when they first announced this movie, I was like, oh shit, this is like totally fresh to me.
Brand new to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything that was like pretty much introduced in the movie was like had a wow factor because I was like, oh shit, like there's this, there's that. Let me pull up my notes real quick.
All right.
I had a couple things that I liked actually. I think it outweighed the things I disliked.
Okay. So do you want to go what you liked first, or do you want to go back and forth, or what?
Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah, let's do what I liked, and then what you didn't like, and then we'll switch.
Okay.
So we'll just like go back and forth. All right. So a couple things I liked. It had cool visual effects. I think they already got it down with like Wonder Woman now and like Man of Steel. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The world building was really cool because they were referencing like Aquaman, Superman, Batman a lot. Like he was wearing like a t-shirt, and then I think when he's running away at one point, they're like in the mall, and he's just like throwing like he throws like a Batman toy at him.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I like how hopping off of that, I like how he goes and joins his like new foster family, and his brother Freddy is like a big superhero fanboy. Like if superheroes were real, you know, he has like a Batarang replica from Batman. He has an authentic bullet that was ricocheted off of Superman. He's got all the papers. He's like a hype. Yeah. He's got Aquaman t-shirts, Superman t-shirts.
It's like Josh if he lived in like DC universe.
And I was crippled.
Like hype.
Yeah. So I did like that as well. Yeah. I like how it seems this is, I think, the only film that I could think of, or superhero film, where you're kind of at like a ground level in the sense of that you've never really seen this perspective, I guess, because it's always following the hero who he's on top of everybody else's, you know, he's above everybody else's like typical problems, but you follow like some teenage boys
he's, like, in this for his mom.
Yeah, so you follow that and you get to see, you know, like what it's like being like 15 years old or whatever, however old he is, instead of like a 30-year-old man who is flying around.
Fucking up buildings.
So yeah. I like the perspective change.
Yeah, that's good. We should talk about the casting actually.
Okay.
I think Zachary Levi plays him really well. The dude who plays Shazam.
Yeah, I remember when he was cast, a lot of people were skeptical.
Dude,
I think he does a really good job.
Good job.
He did a really good job. I like him. Like the suit? What do you think of the suit?
The suit was pretty. Dude, it's awesome.
It is a good.
It's
suit.
so colorful.
I love the suit.
It's pretty.
I like how they got the cape right. They got the hood on it.
Dude, I know, yeah. At first I was like, the cape looks kind of weird, but then I was like, oh, like, he's supposed to have, like, the staff and the hood and shit and look like a freaking wizard.
Looks really cool, bro. I like it.
Yeah. Isn't the kid from It in it?
Yeah, this brother Freddy is played by...
Freddy.
I forget the name. He played Eddie, though, in It. Yeah, the one that had all his problems with all the placebo pills and stuff like that. That same character, yeah.
That's pretty cool. What else? Oh, I didn't expect... Are we just going to go, like, straight? Should we talk about the story then? Because, like, the things I like now are kind of, like, spoiling it.
Well, yeah, we're going to spoil the whole thing. Do you want to, like, just go through the story? Or do you want to
let's talk about the story, and then I'll just pick off, like, the things I liked as we go.
Okay, so... It's an origin story. We got Billy Batson, as I said, the main protagonist.
Yeah.
He becomes Shazam. But I really love, since we're doing this, the intro scene I like.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
This movie intro is not on the main character, but on the villain of the movie, Dr. Savannah, who is played by Kingsman actor. I forget his name. If you want to look that up. He's a really good actor, though.
No, hold on. We got to put respect on his name.
You look it up as I keep talking. So it opens up on him as a kid, riding in the back seat with his father and older brother. He's playing with a magic 8-ball, and I guess his dad has something against toys, so he says, like, oh, no toys in my car, son. And he's like, but Dad, it's Christmas. And he's like, I don't care, you little shit. Dude, they're pretty mean to him.
Yeah.
Like, they're very rude to him. He's just, like, 8 years old or something. His brother, like, he takes the ball from him and he says, oh, will you ever be a man? And then it's like, oh, outlook not good. And then it's like, oh, and he like dabs up his dad. They're like, ha ha ha. And they like laugh at him. Fuck? His dad literally laughs at his kid. And then he tosses the 8-ball back to him, and we see some symbols appearing on the magic 8-ball, some magic symbols. And we see, which is I actually like this, how Shazam, the same wizard that we see give Billy Batson his Shazam powers, offers the same powers to the villain in the beginning of the film in a flashback when he was a kid. And he transports him there, he offers him the powers, but then he says, I want to see if you're pure of heart. I'll tempt you with the power from the 7 deadly sins, which are like some monsters, I guess, like evil demon type things.
Yeah, it's like some religion. It's like greed, envy, wrath.
Yeah, it's all the 7 deadly sins.
Lust.
And gluttony is one of them. You know, people know them.
Yeah.
So anyway, the kid pretty much reaches for what he didn't want. He pretty much said like, oh, like, don't do it, and he does it.
Yeah.
So then he casts him out, and he says he won't be pure of heart, and he
roasts him too.
He roasts him too. The wizard roasts him, and he gets sent back to the backseat of the car. And the kid's mad because he was like, no, I almost had power. I almost was a man. I could have showed my dad and brother up. And then they get in a car crash. His dad is crippled. His brother is mad at him. They just don't like him. And we see one final shot on the magic 8-ball where the little thing says, find us.
Oh, yeah. That was cool.
And then it comes to present day where we're introduced to our main protagonist. So I love the intro scene.
That was a really good intro.
It's a good intro. It shows the villain. We understand why he is who he is. We understand why he doesn't like.
Kept some surprise. Because sometimes they give too much away in the trailer.
I like, that whole intro, I think, was not in any of the trailers. At least ones that I saw. Because I remember when I saw it, I realized what they were doing. I was like, oh shit, like this was not in any of the trailers. This is good.
Yeah.
From there, we see Billy. He's
pretty much like a runaway
foster kid, jumping from family to family because looking for his mom. When he was a kid, he lost his mom in a carnival, and so he's trying to find. He's a troublemaker, messes with the cops at one point in the beginning, takes their food, looks up any address of someone with the last name Batson because he's trying to find his mom.
Yeah,
he has a list and he's crossed off every single person
it's like 7.
Yeah, everybody in the city that has the same last name as him.
Philadelphia.
Yeah. So he's then taken back to the foster care after police get him, and they're given to this new family, which he ends up moving in with, and they end up becoming his.
Eventually warms up to them.
Yeah. At first, he's kind of just like, okay, I'm gonna dip here in a minute anyway. He meets his new brother Freddy, who's like, I guess the comic relief as well as the like a supporting actor. What happens after that? He goes
pretty
to
much
school.
they go to school.
Oh, this is where it happens, yeah.
And then like one of they honestly were straight up assholes. They park first of all like on the curb every time. They're just like,
there's some bullies at this school they all go to. I guess this school is like one of those schools where it's a mix of middle and high, or maybe
I think so.
everything,
Yeah.
because he has a really young sibling. I forget her. I don't even know if they named her. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But his youngest sibling, she really likes him. She's like really, you know, how
Like,
kids
nice
are,
person.
you know. And so they pull up to the school, and at the end of the school day, he's walking out, and just some bullies pull up in a freaking truck, and they just hit Freddy, he's crippled. He has like a crutch, and they hit him. And I guess his cripple thing hit their car, which scuffed it. So they're like, "Oh, you're gonna pay for this." And they're kind of bullying him. They're punching him. And this is when Billy's about to walk away, but he decides, you know what? Like, they're being mean. I think they said he doesn't have a mom, which I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he goes back, beat them with the crutch, and he tries running, where he then goes into the subway to escape. But the subway, then he gets the same treatment as Dr. Savannah did in the past, where the subway train gets all foggy or whatever, the windows ice up, and he's transported to the wizard Shazam, who gives him the same offer. But at this time, I think Dr. Savannah, as an adult, has got the power back. He's pretty much spent his whole life trying to get back to where he was as a kid.
Yeah.
And he's been researching, finding other people that have been chosen by this wizard and tested, and they've also failed the test. And he's trying to see if any of them can remember the symbols he saw and hope that it could unlock the key to getting there.
Because there's like a way to get back into the realm.
And he finds it out from somebody who happened to record something happening, and that you could see the symbols in it. So he goes and he pretty much pulls up on the wizard, who's really old and very weak now, even weaker than before. And he just goes and takes that evil thing, I guess, instead of the power of Shazam. He goes for the evil thing. He gets the 7 deadly sins in the like ball, which goes in his eye. I like the design, how it's like the little,
that was cool.
I like it. And then there's the villain introduction. That's why he doesn't like Shazam. He has the power, which he did not get. So he's like, oh, why is this guy worthy? I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from there, it's pretty, you know.
Like Shazam learns to use his powers, then he eventually like fights.
They fight, yeah.
Fights Dr. Shazam.
A couple things happen in between. He has like a night. We'll get to that though, but yeah, that's pretty much the start of it. And then from there, you can guess what typical movie type stuff. You know, he learns his powers. He gets too cocky with it. He comes back, and then they save the day.
Nice.
So there we go. There's your story. What happens, Nick? Tell us what you want. Tell what you'd like.
So I liked the whole like montage when he was learning to use his powers.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I think that's like, dude, it's pretty much just like a kid being in like Superman's body. They're just doing like stupid shit. I think like the first time they're just like charging people's phones or whatever.
It's done really well because I think it's with Zachary Levi's performance also. It's very believable that this kid
He's
is
such a good kid. Dude.
Yeah, like I imagine if I was 14 or 15 years old and I was able to get these powers, I'd probably do the same things they did. He goes around, he's trying to figure out what powers he has. He's very excited about it, but at the same time, kind of cocky, I guess, about it once he starts learning this stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun, and I like that whole montage. It's set to
he like lights him on fire.
Yeah, an old Queen song.
Yeah. The tracks were also really good in this too.
Yeah,
I forgot to write that down.
Yeah, it's really good. He's testing his powers to Freddy. It shows them bonding. He stops his first crime at the gas station, which was in the trailer, which you have seen if you've watched the Shazam trailer. He stops them while he's trying to buy some beer because he looks like a 20-year-old.
Like to buy some alcohol.
Dude,
you should go buy some alcohol.
Say that when I go buy some.
Dude, yeah, it would be funny as hell.
Okay. But yeah, what else do you like about it?
I thought the flying mechanics were really cool. At the beginning, I was like, is there really not going to be that much flying? But then like he finally learns to like fly and shit. And then like as the movie goes on, there's actually the really cool part when he's fighting Dr. Shavannah. And he like, they're just in midair and he just like grabs him and does like some wrestling shit.
He does like an
he's like
an in-air like flip.
Yeah.
And he slams him down. Yeah, I like that too.
I thought the flying mechanics were really cool.
Yeah, and what I'm glad is I was worried when I first watched it, when it was first coming out. It's been out now, so we know what it is. But when I first saw it, my main worry was I thought Shazam would be too similar to Superman. Because in the comics, the reason why he is who he is partly because it's a kid, and obviously the kid, when he thinks of powers and powerfulness and all that stuff, he thinks of Superman because he's like the main guy in the DC universe. That's why they're very similar in sets of flying and stuff like that. Obviously Superman has more things, but they're very similar in like the way they look, kind of power abilities, stuff like that. So the reason why is because in the comics he looks up to Superman, so he kind of manifests his version of it when he does it. And I was worried that this movie might make a good Superman movie. And what I mean by that is Man of Steel was good, but it was more so like Zack Snyder's kind of more realistic dark tone instead of how the Superman comics and the original films were very like I'm America's hero, and he's like always smiling, like, you know, like that. And I was worried that since we haven't gotten a Superman film like that yet with Henry Cavill, my worry was we would get that with this. So then it would kind of take away from and be like, oh, so Shazam is more like Superman than Superman is in this universe. Yeah. If that makes sense. So that was my worry, but that doesn't happen. It's not, he's not like Superman at all. It's done very well. It's his own character.
No cameos except at the end. We'll Superman pulls up.
You know how it is, yeah. Is it Henry Cavill though?
I don't know. I don't even know why he's eating that, that fucking school lunch.
Dude, I'd be hyped. Can you imagine? It was just like, I brought one of my friends. It's like,
that'd be fucking crazy. It's like if one of the Lakers pulled up. Like, yo.
Hey, yo. Superman had like a glizzy on his plate.
Dude, that would have been funny.
Like, hey, yo. They just like
say, they just start clowning.
They clown on Superman.
Dude, what would you do?
Got the glizzy.
What would you do if they just start clowning you and you're a superhero?
That'd be hilarious, bro.
You're like,
I would actually like that. What else you like? What else?
I like how they didn't have a love interest for Billy. Cause like,
ooh, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
One of the chicks in his like foster home, they're not related. I was like, oh, she's like pretty much the same age as him. Like, she's pretty attractive. Like, I don't know if they're gonna make him like a love interest, but they didn't do that. And I thought that was really cool because it would have been kind of, I don't know, corny, and it would have taken away from the fact that like, oh shit, they're family.
Yeah,
it would have been super like
kind of weird.
Happens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I like that. Actually, now that you mentioned that, I do agree with that. Yeah, it seems like almost every movie there's some love interest, even if they don't get together.
Yeah, he didn't even get like a kiss at the end or something.
He got nothing. He's just it's a family
dry as
movie.
hell.
It's a family movie.
Probably a virgin.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
What else? There was some really cool slow-mo shots too.
Oh yeah, I love the one at the end of the movie. The sister like shoots a little pellet from a carnival gun at Dr. Savannah as he's.
It goes like around it, right?
Yeah, it comes at the camera and then it pans around it and we see it going right at his eye and you think like, oh shit, is she gonna land the blow that like hits it? And he just like catches it like all easy, like as if you'd imagine Superman would. I really like that. Shit's awesome. There's other ones throughout, but yeah, that one I like a lot.
I think that's about. Oh, one more thing. I don't know if you caught this, but when Dr. Savannah's like messing him up and stuff, and I think Shazam gets like freaking ragdolled into like one of the carnival stands. This girl's like with her dad and she's like super scared. And he gives her like the little tiger thing, which is like the toy he wanted when he was a kid.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
I like that as well.
I don't know.
I remember that when
I started thinking, I was like, damn dude, like this guy like didn't have like parents growing up and he's still somehow like more worthy even though he was like lacking something. So I thought that was really interesting.
It shows you anybody can be pure of heart.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing too, I found it really cool. The dichotomy, pretty much like the villain was like he had a family, but he wasn't loved when he just got roasted. And then Shazam was like the complete opposite.
Exactly.
And then it's like the extremes of like good and evil. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. It's really cool when you break it down. You can actually see that in like every movie.
It very is. You are right.
I think Star Wars kind of does that.
Yeah, I can see
not as good.
I mean, we'll see.
They make a move. All right, you want to get to the
so that's everything you have what you like?
Yeah, and then plus enjoying it as like for the first time.
Yeah. Let me think real quick and think if you missed anything that I really like. Let's see.
It's the flying mechanics, the fight scenes.
Oh, would you like when he does the floss?
Dude, that was awesome.
He does some flossing.
It wasn't even cringy because like it's in the context. I was like, oh, he's a fucking 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Probably plays Fortnite.
Probably does. We got Fortnite in Avengers Endgame.
Fuck yeah.
Remember?
Oh yeah, we did.
Thor was.
Oh yeah.
No, who was it? With the rock guy? What's his name? Korg and Meek were sitting there playing Fortnite.
It's like Thor, he's back. He's like, give me that.
They were playing. Oh yeah, new Master 69. He's back.
Dude, people were saying that was Deadpool.
Oh my god.
Dude, I thought that would be funny as hell.
That's funny.
That would be funny.
Yeah. So okay, I think everything else I like. At the end, Shazam decides, because I guess Dr. Savannah's plan is to take back Shazam's powers from him. Yeah. So he has the staff and he says he gets his powers from putting his hands on the staff and saying Shazam, and it gives him the powers. So he's trying to get the powers from him, I guess. Or otherwise he'll kill his family or his foster family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's the whole plot.
Oh, yeah, that's the last thing that I liked, actually.
It's the very end of it. And I like how he comes around. He goes, he helps out his foster family at the end. And then what he does, which I actually was not expecting
I didn't expect that at all either.
At all. And because it wasn't in any trailers or anything at all. I managed to miss this spoiler. So this is like a big spoiler if you haven't seen it. At the end of the movie, he takes the staff and he has all of his foster siblings who he's grown with throughout the film. They all put their hand on the staff and they all say Shazam, and they all turn into their version of Shazam, which is actually something from the comics, which I was not expecting in episode like the first movie. That's freaking. But it's really cool the way they did it. I think it works. I think it works. Yeah. So they save the day as a family at the end. So okay, I think that's the last thing I like. Yeah, I agree. I said I did not expect that shit to happen too. Yeah, I really like how I didn't expect it. That was so cool. And the council, dude. And then we got to talk about the end credit scenes. Yeah, we'll get to those. Before we get to the dislikes, what did you think of the villain? So Dr. Savannah, did you like him? I think he's pretty good. I think a lot of the time the villains are always just straight up like just evil for no reason. Yeah, either that or they're like, yo, we must terraform. Like, God. Pure breeds. So much terraforming. But this guy actually had like traumatic experience when he was young, and he's pretty much doing this all for himself, which I think makes him even more evil than like he goes to his father's company where I guess dude, he straight up threw his brother out the window. Yeah, I was like, holy shit. He throws his older brother out the window. I thought he was just gonna toss him at the wall. Does he kill his dad? He kills like everybody. He kills his dad. Yeah, so he goes with the 7 deadly sins, which look like freaking monsters. Man's was plotting. Yeah, so that's actually I was surprised. It's kind of like there's horror elements of it. Yeah, like it's not really scary, but what it kind of reminded me of, it was Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm, you remember when the gargoyles come to life and everything? Yeah. I don't know if like they intended it, but there was like some like slight, what's it called? Similarities. Not similarities, but homages maybe, or like they do stuff that like certain movies do. Yeah, like an homage. Yeah, but what did you think of their designs? The 7 deadly sins. I thought it was cool. This is a segue, I guess, into my dislikes. Mm-hmm. I didn't like how they talked, like literally, like fucking comic book characters. My dislikes are here as well. It's like if Josh talked and like you just heard his thoughts and he was just like, yeah, he just yes. I think I know why this may be as so well because I have some inside info because I worked for the studio. Oh shit! So I know some little Michael joke there. Michael always does that. Our friend that's been on the cast before. Dude, we gotta get him back. I love Michael. So. Pretty much, I saw this video where they talk about the VFX in this movie because there's a scene. What's really cool is when they appear for the first time. I guess they appear in the room as like a dark gray smoke cloud, and then they kind of manifest into a physical form, and that's difficult to do. And they explain. I watched this video where he explains how to do something like that with VFX, go from smoke to like a physical body or creature. And he explains that, I don't know if this is because of reshoots or rewrites, I don't know like the reasoning, but he says that they kind of started on this part, like on the designing the monsters and stuff, that was late in the game. Like they only had like a couple weeks to do that. So they only had a couple weeks to design these things, and so maybe it takes a lot more to do the VFX for something like speaking, doing all the muscles in their jaw, the movement, everything, like matching words. Yeah. So maybe they were like, oh, we don't got any time for them to like actually talk normally. Let's just have them like talk telepathically. I'll admit it looked kind of like cheesy, but I guess it was slightly more eerie because I was like, oh shit, like they're fucking just communicating. Yeah, I guess that's why they did it. Maybe unless they planned on them being telepathic the whole time. But there's also a moment, and you don't really notice it unless you know. But at one point in the scene where he pulls up to kill his father and brother, the monsters are attacking everybody, and there's one that's in frame, like he's the main subject of the shot, and in the background, slightly blurred out, we can see 2 other monsters, and they start off like they're attacking, but then they couldn't finish the CGI in time, so they literally just like kind of stand there and they repeat the same movement. They do, if you're on YouTube you can see me, they just kind of do this, just kind of pacing back and forth for a little bit. Yeah. So they don't do anything. I noticed that too. It's because they didn't finish it. They had only like 2 weeks or 3 weeks to do it. Maybe it was very short, so I kind of understand for that, but I also don't really like their designs, and that might be because of this, but I'll give them a break.
It would have been cool if they were more like the sins or whatever, like the evil things they were.
Well, they kind of represent them. Like, I guess Gluttony was like the fat one.
They weren't like colorful, or I don't know.
They could have been. That was my complaint.
They could have been cooler monsters.
They pretty much just look like, imagine like a gray monster.
Imagine like 4 different gargoyles.
They are all slightly different.
They're
but
generic.
At the same time, that's what I'm saying.
Generic.
Yeah, that was the only complaint I really had with that. What else you don't like?
I didn't like. Oh, I pretty much said I didn't like how there's some flying scenes, but it picked up. So.
Okay.
The demons were odd looking. Oh, and I also didn't understand how they worked.
The demons, these deadly sins.
Yeah, so it's like when he goes to Shazam's like lair or whatever, they're just sitting there on the statue, and then there's that ball of evil or whatever, like the evil's like magic powers.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has to take the ball and they go inside of it, and then he puts it in his eye, and then he can manifest them, right? Right?
I guess so, in a way, yeah.
So then why were they trying to like destroy the eye? Like,
who?
I'm trying to think of like what confused me, because I remember they were trying to like either kill the monsters or kill Dr. Savannah, but I was like, I don't know.
What they were trying to do is so Dr. Savannah doesn't technically have magic the way Shazam does. It's the magic in Shazam is embodied in him now. Anytime he just says Shazam, he turns into Shazam. Yeah. With Dr. Savannah, his power comes from that orb. So, and that orb is powered by the said deadly sins. So they
just use him as a host then?
Yes, that's pretty much what it is. So
okay.
That's why they were wanting them all to come out and fight, because when they're all inside of him, he's more strong. So they were trying to like bait them all to come out of the eye, because when they do, he has no powers.
Okay.
So that's how it works. That's why they wanted to get the eye away from him.
I got that part. I was just slightly confused on like why they had to like be statues and stuff and all that.
My best guess is it's just like that's like I guess
because like the wizard's like a straight on person.
I'm guessing he just has them imprisoned in like a statue. If that makes sense. That's my best guess.
Okay. Damn, bro.
Was that the
dude, Sam snoring hard as hell?
The podcast dog just snored.
What
else you got?
I think that's about it. I just said they were odd looking and it talked weird.
Yeah, my main issues were with the monsters.
With just the demons. But besides that, it was all pretty good. Yeah. Actually, this one's just stupid. But I don't even... There was way too many people like almost getting hit by cars and fucking robbed in this movie. I don't know if they're just trying to show off like how many times Shazam could save people. There's 3 or 4 times when people get hit by cars, almost hit by cars.
Yep.
It's like 4 times when people get mugged.
He gets hit by a car at one point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they should have just made it in like a different city, like a made up DC city, like Metropolis or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just because like that would make more sense. Or like Gotham, that's a really like crime ridden city in the comics.
Yeah, I guess so.
But like Philadelphia, I don't know.
I can see that. I can see that nitpick.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
If it was just like a made up city. But yeah.
So I think is that everything?
That's about it, bro. It's kind of a short review. We can talk about the post credit scene.
We'll talk about that, but before we get to that, what would you rate this?
Oh yeah. Damn. Dude, I'm fresh out like the seat, dude.
I know. So what did you
I really liked it, but I wouldn't say it's better than like Wonder Woman.
Okay.
It's damn, bro. This is really hard now. I'm thinking about it.
I feel like I got
it's definitely top 5.
Okay.
I'd say it's like 5 or 4.
Okay. Is it better than Aquaman? In your opinion? What do you think? Where does it rank with Aqua?
It's not at the same scale, but yeah, the story's better. I think the story's better. The villain's better.
What was the budget for this? Did you look it up?
Oh yeah. It's it actually said it's the most expensive DCEU film to date.
What?
Because the production budget was 90 to 100 million, and then about 102 million once post-production was complete. So it's about
a little bit over 200?
I guess like a little bit over 100. I can't be the most expensive.
They're capping them because Aquaman's was 200 million, remember?
That's that Wikipedia.
And I know you can't trust Wikipedia. I know for a fact that Batman vs. Superman's budget was like 300, I think. Some shit like that. Or 250, somewhere around there. But let me see. Anything else left on this? I don't think so. I think
it did pretty well in the box office.
Yeah, it did do pretty well. I don't think it broke $1 billion like Aquaman did, but it did pretty high.
I think it's because like a lot of people didn't know like, oh, who the fuck Shazam?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So I would give it my rating. I'll probably I gave Aquaman like a 6.5.
I don't know if I want to give it.
And you gave it a 7.
Oh, I'll give it a 7.5 then.
I was gonna give it a 7.5 as well. I don't want to give it an 8 because I don't think it's...
Then that's like pushing Wonder Woman, like, Man of Steel area.
Yeah. I would say it's probably around like a 7.5, you know? Somewhere right there in the middle.
I think the writing's good in this. The writing is really good.
It's really good. It is very good. It really makes you feel like the character's actually a kid.
Better than Aquaman.
Ooh, better
Dude,
writing.
straight up.
Yeah, it does have better writing.
We picked like so many shits apart, like in Aquaman.
Yeah, there was a lot wrong with that. I think this is overall a pretty fun film. I could probably nitpick it the same way I did Aquaman, but for some reason I don't want to. And I think that's because this movie doesn't do the tropes. I talked about tropes a lot on the Aquaman review.
Yeah.
How Aquaman has a ton of stuff we've seen before. This one was brand new. We've never seen Shazam. We had also never seen Aquaman.
But yeah, it's harder for them to make mistakes.
But
it's like his intro.
Aquaman went through, like, it was the same thing as Black Panther, which is just like a year before, I guess, or the same year, which was my problem with it. So, but anyway, besides that, Shazam, that's why I think it's a little bit better.
Very original villain.
It is, yeah.
I actually sympathize more with him than, like, Black Manta or Ocean. Ocean Master just came off as, like...
He's just...
Yeah. As, like, a loud, obnoxious, like, jealous brother.
Yeah, pretty much. God. Post-credit scenes?
Oh, yeah, so we get...
Couple of them.
What was the first one? Damn, I
already forgot. We just watched the shit.
No.
Let's see. Anything.
There's the one where he's trying to talk to the fish, which is funny, and they're just like...
It's just a little throwaway one.
Yeah, they just roast Aquaman.
Yeah.
Just like we did.
Is that the first one? Was that the first?
That was the one at the very end.
There's one of Superman?
The one before that.
Superman?
Oh, there's a Super... God, there's like...
That's the way the movie ends. It's like the last scene in the movie we see... They go back to school, and earlier in the film, Freddy wanted... Billy Batson, Shazam, to show up and be like in Shazam form at school and be like, yo, like, this is my boy, and kind of give him some clout. Yeah. You know, he's like, yeah, it's like, this is my guy right here. And Billy was kind of getting cocky with his powers, so he never shows up, and he's just doing dumb shit, you know, not being responsible with his powers, and he let his friend down. But at the end, he makes up for it. He shows up, and then he even says, oh, I've got one of my friends here with me. And he turns to his right, Freddy, and we see the torso of Superman. That's what we see. We don't see his face.
They should have just had Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he could have done it because of, like, studio.
That's probably my biggest complaint, actually. More so than
he probably could have just came and done it himself.
I think he would have done it. Do you think they asked him? Do you think they're just like, oh, he's not going to do it. Let's just not even ask.
I would have just asked him.
I feel like they didn't even ask. Because I think he would do it.
Yeah.
I think what it is at the time, DC was kind of, we don't know what was going on with them. We didn't know if they were completely rebooting everything or what. So I feel like they were like, man, should we even ask him?
Bro, even if they didn't get him, they should have had like a dude that looks like Superman, and like the camera pans up and everyone's just like, what the fuck? So it's like some paid actor.
Who the hell?
He's just like, I tried. That shit would have been.
Actually, that would be kind of funny. And it was just a buff guy. That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. I like that.
And then the last, well, actually, this wasn't
if I imagine it's Henry Cavill, I like the scene. It'd be better if he was there, so I don't just gotta look at a torso of a dude who's clearly.
Yeah, I think that's what kind of ruins it, is like knowing what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because like if it was,
it would have
just cut. I would have been like, oh shit.
It would have been so much better if they showed him, if it was Henry Cavill, because he's been Superman for years now. I think he's kind of on the same level as like Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr.
Since like 2013.
Like when you look at Chris Evans, like a lot of people are like, oh, Captain America, Robert Downey Jr. They look like Iron Man. They see Chris Hemsworth with like Thor. I think he's on that level. Like you look at him and they think Superman.
Hell yeah.
So that would be like having us. Like in Spider-Man Homecoming when there's that little Captain America cameo where he's just like, so you got detention. It'd be like if they got that, but they just like cut off his head for some reason because they couldn't get him.
DC has to do more cameos, bro. Like Marvel does it. They do it so clean.
I think that's their idea going out. Yeah. Because they just did, what did they do?
I'm excited for the next like 3 to 5 years of DC movies, dude.
So yeah.
Especially with the fandom. Starts in
actually like 12 hours.
36 minutes. 12 hours. It's going to be the day.
Oh yeah.
We gonna stay up.
Yeah, we'll stay up 12 hours straight.
Fuck no.
Anyway, Caterpillar.
What?
The ending scene, the very last one. The caterpillar.
Oh, yeah. Dude, what the fuck was that?
So I
thought he was gonna squish him or something.
I remember slightly this character.
Dude, this whole movie is whack.
I'm not a Shazam.
Like, it's wacky.
Like, he's not like my main villain or character that I know too much about. But I was like, what's his name again? I looked it up. The character's name is Mastermind, who is one of Shazam's oldest adversaries. It's a very deep cut in terms of like villains from the DC. Like, I guarantee you, like maybe only the real fans understood this reference. Like fans of Shazam. You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, like, a common DC fan would know this character.
You have to do some digging.
Yeah, you have to go know who this is. So pretty much the final scene.
It's pretty much like a comic issue.
Yes! So pretty much the final scene, we see Dr. Savannah, who got arrested. He's kind of writing all the symbols on his jail cell to, I guess, so he doesn't forget them. Yeah. And then we hear a voice, and he's like, who the hell is talking? He's like looking around, you don't see anything. And then he follows the voice, and we see this little caterpillar with like a voice box
Jiminy
on.
Cricket.
Yeah, he's just chilling there on the window.
Like, and he's like, you think magic, it can only come from one way. He's like, oh, there are other ways to get magic, my friend. And then he's like, and we will do them.
And then it ends. So
wait, he said something about the 7 realms. So can you like explain that a bit?
Just think about Thor.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Damn, there's even more shit.
There's a lot of shit. Dude, DC has a ton of shit. DC's just like Marvel in terms of how much shit they have in their universe. So yeah, pretty much this brief scene, this is what I'm reading, suggests a partnership of some kind between these two baddies. So yeah, Mastermind is that's pretty interesting. I want to know where they go with that, because I hope it's not just like let's just throw this in and it doesn't amount to anything, because we know we're gonna get a Black Adam movie. It's just called Black Adam, and we're gonna get Shazam 2. So I wonder if the Black Adam movie will be strictly Black Adam, or if we'll get a Shazam in there.
I hope it's all Black Adam.
Or if we're gonna save him for 2, or what they're gonna do. You know, it's kind of, we'll figure it out tomorrow, hopefully, with DC fandom.
All this is just gonna become
12 hours from now, from when we're recording this. By the time you're listening to this, the fandom's already happened, probably, or it'll be happening as you're listening to this. So yeah, get ready for that. That episode will be dropping right away. We probably might post it. We still have Birds of Prey, but I think we're just gonna skip over it. Are we gonna skip over completely, or what do you want to do?
Because I want to watch it again.
Because I've seen it.
I mean, look, I think we'll watch it again just because we've already been watching them, and the audience can as well.
Well,
we've already dropped a review.
We reviewed it like 6 months ago. 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Like in March.
Like 5 months ago. Then we just reviewed it. We had Emily on that episode.
Oh, do you want to review it with like a what's it called? A second take?
We could if you want, but I do think we should probably do DC fandom before that. So we'll probably, what I'm thinking is, let's release this episode.
Okay.
DC fandom, like as soon as we can, like right, we talk about all the stuff, and then after that, Birds of Prey, or like maybe like a little bit down the line, like a week later or something like that. We could just that'll be
that sounds
quick.
good.
That'll be pretty quick
because it'll all be together.
Yeah, and then we can continue on doing our other ideas that have been in the works for a while.
Yes.
So yeah,
season 3.
Would you say are we saying 7.5 both of us for Shazam?
Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, I agree with
That's
that.
a good number. I think I've been giving the like top 3 like DC movies like hires. What did I give Man of Steel, like a 9? I gave it a 9, dude.
You probably did.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure I gave Wonder Woman an 8.
An 8. Yeah, that's why I was like 7.5.
Yeah. Nice. What'd you give Batman versus Superman?
I don't know. It was really good though.
I don't remember
too. That one, dude. Oh my god.
When we do Birds of Prey,
I'm so happy. I freaking first saw Shazam. I loved it. Saw Justice League. I loved it. Batman versus Superman. I loved it, dude.
When we do Birds of Prey, at the end of it, we'll rate Birds of Prey with our definitive review, and then we'll rank them at the end of it.
Oh yes,
we'll
all of them
from worst to best. Yeah, because we just did all of them,
dude. Yeah, for
so we'll think back and we'll be like, okay, I'll put this one here and that. So that'll be in the Birds of Prey one too, which should come out maybe a week from now or so.
Okay,
yeah.
Dude, then we can.
Sounds good to me.
Dude, yeah. Sounds like a good backup.
Want to sign the boys out?
Get some sleep.
We out.
Because the fandom's tomorrow. I hope you guys are excited if you're watching this.
Get hype!
Dude, yeah. Oh my god. What a time to be alive.
You can clearly tell Nick is very excited.
Yeah. I contain myself.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see you guys in that episode, which will be dropping probably like very soon after this is dropped.
Go subscribe to everything.
Mm-hmm. Follow us.
Instagram, Twitter.
Cosmic Kickback. Check us out.
TikTok's
everywhere.
coming.
TikToks are coming.
Maybe. OnlyFans.
We'll see. OnlyFans.
Dude, I'm serious.
On the way. So yeah. Thank everybody for the support. Leave a like if you're on YouTube, and follow us if you're anywhere else.
Smash that like button.
Yeah. So thank everybody for the support, and we will see you on the next episode.
Yeah.